opportunity to share a little bit of the memories that you have of Vernon. I'm Ken Frederick with the funeral home, and you've already obviously been introduced to David, Vernon's older brother, who really wanted to kind of take the time and chit-chat a little bit, and I know he plans on giving each of you, if you would like, an opportunity to share some of those stories that you have of his brother. So really I'm going to turn things over to David, and again, I know he really truly appreciates everyone being here this afternoon. David?
I speak the way Franklin Roosevelt did. American presidents are my hobbies, and Franklin Roosevelt always said, you speak, you are sincere, you're brief, and then you're seated. That's what I'm going to do. Be sincere, be brief, be seated. Yes, I am Vernon's older brother. I'm his oldest brother. It's a little rough because I'm going to turn 70 in 3 months. And I buried my baby brother. Oh, first of all, you've got to turn off all the electrical instruments. Did we do that? Okay. There are 2 other brothers. We're going to see their pictures after a while. They couldn't make it, and ironically, they are attending a funeral right now. The funeral they are attending started at 3 o'clock. It was an uncle of my sister-in-law. So irony of ironies, they're at a funeral there. And I'm happy to see that my wife's sister is here from Phoenix. So we actually have both sides of the family. Well, for starters, well, again, Vernon was my baby brother. I was 13 years old when they brought him home, and I always tell the story. I ran down the steps to see my new baby brother, and I stepped on a nail. So my dad had to take right away, take me to the doctor. Yeah, true story. No, went in, got a shot, came back home. My mother watched us more than she watched him. We used to play catch with him, throw him across the bed. You know, he's our little brother. I had 3 brothers. We were just happy as heck to see him. I remember once he was like 10 or 12. My mother said, "We never took pictures of him. You know, he was the 4th one." And I was the first one. They got just reams and reams of pictures. My dad had a 16mm movie camera. Took a lot of movies of me. And up until the time Vernon was 10 or 11, they had like a half a minute. I remember my dad, she said, "You go out and buy some film right now." You know, and he did, and Vernon, you know, Polish. I will never forget that. I always refer to him as my snot-nosed little brother. We're going to see a picture of him, and he looked like a snot-nosed little brother too. Always. You know, even though after he was about 18, I had to go like this to talk to him. You know, Vernon went up, us 3 older ones went the other way. Sideways. No, really. Okay. Another memory I have when he was a kid, and he was a snot-nosed kid, we all went to Lutheran schools, incidentally. Vernon did not accept Christianity, and that's why there's not a preacher here today. I felt it would be the height of hypocrisy to have a preacher here. I talked to him twice about it, and I said, "Hey, you're my brother, I respect that." But that's why this is a secular occasion. The school called my parents and literally said, "Dad, I come right now," and they thought, you know, what did he do? They had a brand new teacher who had just graduated from school like 3 months before, and she had all the 2nd or 3rd graders draw pictures of a nice country scene with cows and birds in the air. Vernon colored the sun black. And they were just, you know, beside themselves that he would do that. That, you know, everybody else, you know, white clouds, you know, yellow sun, Vernon had a black sun. I'll never forget that either. And my dad said, "So what?" So, okay, Moody Blues. When I was on the phone with someone last week, they asked if I was the Moody Blues brother. I'm not. But I introduced them. I bought Days of Future Past in October of '68. I got out of school in January of '69. I lived at home for about a year, and they heard it. The Moody Blues came out with an album. I bought it. They heard him, but Robert, we'll see, he was really Mr. Moody Blues. He went to concerts. I'm a Midwestern German Lutheran. I ain't gonna spend $50. I wouldn't spend $50 to see the President of the United States. I will not go to concerts. My wife goes to Billy Joel. You know, I won't spend that kind of money. I never went to a Moody Blues concert. But so I introduced them. I also introduced them to the CCR. But it was my other brother, and they went around together sometimes. I know they go to Las Vegas to Moody Blues concerts. He was also my go-to guy for music. I remember once, I didn't know what the group was. I ended up asking somebody and they said Alan Parsons. It was Mystery of, what was it, Alan
Tales
Parsons?
of Mystery and Imagination.
Rob Mystery Imagination. I just called Vernon. I said, Alan Parsons, I got him all. And for about 4 years, you know, whenever I wanted to know something about some musician, I'd give him usually the first name. I got him all. You want to borrow him? No, he was my go-to guy. Well, I'm serious. You know, and our tastes in music were a lot different too. Well, the only other thing, I'm following the Franklin Roosevelt here. Be brief, be sincere, and be seated. Last time I saw him was 2007, when my mother died. He came up. Otherwise, he stayed down here. I was down here for a week in 1990. I remember on Morrill Boulevard. And actually, we drove over. Vernon came out here. He lived in Arizona for 29 years. He came out here in '87. He worked in. He worked for the Harvey. In the Grand Canyon. They recruited, and he quit real fast. And did he tell you why he quit? In a matter of 3 days, he had money stolen from him, which can happen, and he heard a bang outside his door, and somebody was killed. And that was it. He just left, went to Phoenix. He was in Phoenix in 1988 when, they were shutting the airport down because it was over 120 degrees, and airliners generally cannot operate over 120 degrees because their books don't give them operating procedures. And he said, to hell with that. It was too hot. He did. And he went to Flagstaff for a year, and then he ended up here. And he's here ever since. He came back basically for funerals. And I came out twice in like 2000, in a matter of half a year. And I always kept saying to him, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna visit you. I never did, but I had bought a ticket to come out. He knew I was coming out to take care of him. So in a nutshell, that is what I have to say about him. And again, being the oldest, kind of rough. And before you leave, everybody has to sign a statement saying you're coming over to his house. Because I went to Fry's yesterday and I bought some Corona beer. And I don't like Corona beer. Okay? I did buy some Leinenkugels. I'm from the Midwest, and I did buy some Leinenkugels. But everybody, when we're all over, we'll give you his address. And there is no easy way to say this. I want the house picked clean. I really, you're going to do me a favor, because starting Monday, Goodwill comes Monday, Disabled American Veterans come Wednesday. You want something, and it's not marked, it stays, take it. Again, you'll be doing me a favor. My wife said I shouldn't say it that way, but she said, can I edit that out, what I just said?
You probably
I didn't mean it there. But I know you don't have everybody to holler at, and you're probably having a rough time. You got to go for another week. Holler at the neighbors. So with that, I invite someone else to come up and share their memories of Vernon. Okay. In fact, we're going to do.
I'm Taryn Berkeley,
I'll let her go.
and this is Mary Cox, and we're going to speak together because we have some messages from several different people to read. There are, first of all, can everybody hear me?